Is Benjamin Moore's Edgecomb Gray the ultimate grayish paint color, or does it have a subtle secret that could transform or challenge your design plans? Let's uncover its true personality, explore where it shines, and pair it with 3 Benjamin Moore paint colors that will elevate any space. Edgecomb Gray by Benjamin Moore is an immensely popular grayish paint color that essentially is the lighter cousin of Revere Pewter, probably an even more popular paint color. It's one that is used in countless homes, in countless design styles, because of its versatility. And one of the first reasons that it's so usable, in my opinion, is its LRV, or its light reflectance value. If you don't know what LRV is, it's a 0 to 100 scale or percentage of light reflectance. The higher that number, the brighter the color. Edgecomb Gray is at a 63 LRV, which is quite nice. It's a very nice happy medium of being very light mid-tone color, perhaps, which is a great balance of having substantial depth without going too dark. Really, it's just a jack of all trades level of lightness. Edgecomb Gray's undertones, I think, are almost irrelevant in a way because of how balanced it feels. It's technically a tad green leaning, maybe to the slightest degree, but there's way less green than there is in Revere Pewter, for example. It's much more obvious in that case. Sometimes, depending on lighting, I find Edgecomb Gray can actually go in the opposite direction, a little more towards the taupe side of things, which can have a touch of a pinky purple undertone a little bit. So really, it's much more dependent on the lighting than other colors because of how neutral it truly is. Really, really fun to use. I've used it in so many projects, but it's still worth to test it out physically in the space that you're using it in to see which way it kind of goes in your home. And I also recommend you test out these 3 color pairings that I put together specifically for Edgecomb Gray. We have a white, a light, and a bright, and I can't wait to show them to you. Edgecomb Gray, we meet again. This is one of my most highly recommended colors in my painting career. Like Benjamin Moore says on the website, a go-to neutral that can refresh any space while providing a warm, welcoming feeling. I think it's so versatile, but sometimes can be a little bit iffy in terms of undertones, mainly that green aspect that can sometimes throw people off. It hasn't really been a problem for me personally whenever I've used it. In terms of color pairings, the first one is going to be a white color, and it is cloud white. I think this is an option that gives enough contrast, but also stays within that warmer undertone that makes Edgecomb Gray so comfortable to use. I will say cloud white does have some yellow in it, but it's more of a beigey, creamy yellow with a little bit of gray to tone it down super slightly. So it just feels soft enough to work. And then if you wanted another color pairing that had a little more richness, but still kind of in the neutral territory, similar to Edgecomb Gray, that would be smoky taupe. Now, this is a color that goes towards that mushroom side of things where you don't really see this color looking too greeny all that often, even though it does have browny beige mixed with gray. This one does feel a little more towards taupe and sometimes can even go a little bit towards purple territory, a little complementary relationship with Edgecomb Gray, but a very subtle one. Just provides you a little more interest and difference compared to something like Revere Pewter, which is kind of on the nose with Edgecomb Gray. Smoky taupe takes things into a slightly more brown direction. My third color pairing is going to be the most colorful option, and it would be Grecian Green. This is obviously taking the little green aspect in Edgecomb Gray and putting it in the forefront, but I wanted to go into a sort of pistachio muted mint green. And that's what this color gives you. Just a beautiful description as well. A muted green that mirrors the soft patina of old relics. If you do have some old copper and bronze, which is kind of, in this sort of coloration with smoky taupe and Edgecomb Gray, these sort of warm gray colors, then you have this patina coloration that comes in. But I love it because another mid-tone color, not too dark, not too rich, quite a bit of saturation and that clear green hue coming through that works beautifully in so many situations where you want to accentuate something, whether it is in a room, on the walls, or on furniture, or on built-ins and cabinetry and vanities. It's going to stand out for all the right reasons. And that's it.